The time has come. I'm going to pick my best 23 for 2026. Let's get into it. So before we jump into my best 23, which I'm dreading because it's going to be so hard, I'm looking at all the names now. Insane. I want to thank you all for 13,000 subscribers. When I started this channel back in 2019, I know people say it all the time, oh, I was happy just to have one subscriber, but I literally and genuinely was just happy to have no subscribers and just talk and just use this as a method for um you know, just talking about the game and getting it all out of my head before I let it consume me. And it was very cathartic for me. And I was happy just to do that and keep doing that, even if I had 0 subscribers still by today. So 6 years on and I've got 13,000. It is, if I could have told 2019 Luke that this would happen, there's no way in hell he would believe me. First off, he wouldn't believe that I was able to time travel. Was smart enough to be able to time travel. Secondly, that I had 30,000 subscribers. So thank you so much. Obviously, the journey doesn't end at 13,000. We want to get to 14, 15. We want to get to 20. That's obviously the biggest goal. There's 100,000 or 110,000 Collingwood members. 13,000 is just the tip of the iceberg. We still got 100,000 more to go to convert. So if you know a Collingwood supporter that isn't subscribed to the channel, that'll be, it'll mean a lot to get them to subscribe to the channel. This is where I make the money that makes me keep on living and making content for you all. So that would be absolutely incredible. There are memberships coming. There's going to be big changes based off what Blue Abroad did. If you're unaware, I'll be making a video a little bit later on about memberships. They're going to be absolutely mint. Absolutely mint. I got keychains. It's so much fun. But again, just want to thank you from the bottom of my black and white heart, my black and white soul. 13,000 members. It's just, thank you so much. Or subscribers, sorry. Thank you so much. I love you all. All right, let's get into this video. Now, you'll see here a really cool looking football oval. You'll see all of our players here. So obviously this is pre-draft players. Obviously, I don't think any of the draftees will be making an appearance in the best 2023 in the opening round. A bit of caveat is that there are 23 players now. There's no sub, so we'll be naming 5 players on the bench and then 3 emergencies. I don't know if I'm going to be using this format going forward or if I'll use this format again, but it's a little bit of fun. So let me know your thoughts down below on what this sort of looks like. If you want to see this a little bit more going forward, we can do that. But this is going to be opening round with 0 injuries. Like if we had 0 injuries, this is what I want our best 23 to look like. A little bit later on in the video, I'm going to predict what our sort of best 23 looks like at the end of the season come finals, if we are lucky enough to qualify for finals. But without further ado, let's get into it. So start with the back line. And I don't think this, I haven't done this exercise yet, but I don't think it's going to stray much from our prelim final side, except for obviously a couple of changes there. We got Howe in that back pocket. We have got Frampton at fullback. And then in the other pocket, we've got Braden Maynard. So, pretty strong back 3. Howe's coming back. He was a little bit so-and-so in that prelim, but hopefully with the strong preseason, no more injuries, he goes on and he absolutely smashes it there. On the half-back line, I've got Jacos here as our out-and-out half-back flanker. I've got our Capitan Darcy Moore as our centre half back. And then on the other flank, where is he? I've got Quaynor. So I've got Quaynor, Moore, and Jacos across that half back line. Obviously, the duo of Moore and Frampton would be, the thing going forward. McGuinness, there's McGuinness could come in as well, but I think opening round, it's going to be Frampton over McGuinness. Remember, at opening round last season, it was McGuinness over Frampton. So if McGuinness does have a strong preseason, I know he's not coming back till about rounds 4 or 5. So this is Frampton's sort of position. That's going to be interesting to see what that sort of looks like. But even if in a perfect world, there's no injuries. I've still got Frampton just a touch over McGuinness as it stands right now. And you can see we still got a couple of big guys here like Houston Perryman still on there, crisp as well. A couple of these other ones, Parker, Jath, Ryan, Cochran, still young. Parker could make a play for an interchange position. We will wait and see. Now, let's go across the middle. So on one wing, I have got Steele Sidebottom. On the other wing, interestingly enough, I've got Dan Houston. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, Houston has played on the wing a little bit. That's interesting, Luke. Why isn't he on the half back line? This is, I think Josh Dacos can play on the wing. Obviously, I want to see Josh Dacos back on the wing because he has won a premiership there, won a best and fairest there, won an All Australian jacket there. But he did so well on that half back line this season that we can't have Josh Dacos and Houston on that half back line, plus Quaynor there as well at the same time. It's either Jacos or Houston on the half back line. I've got Jacos starting there, Houston pushing up to the wing because when he did get onto the wing and did get involved in the game, he looked incredible. The wing allows him to push up the ground, kick those goals as that goal scoring mid that he used to do at Port Adelaide, albeit was pretty much a goal scoring half back flanker. But these positions here, Houston and Jacos, become interchangeable, I think, especially if Jacos is to push into the middle for a couple of centre bounces and stuff like that. But at the moment, that's how I'm starting it. And I've got our centre man as JDG starting. I'm going to put him here because I'll put the ruckman. No, I'll just put him here. Jordan Ngoe starting in the centre there. I think his body is up for it. In that prelim, the qualifying final, he looked incredible in that prelim. Copped the knock to the ribs. He just said in an interview with SEN that he had, I think he said he broken or fractured him a little bit earlier on in the season. He's got a cop the hit there as well. So he did have a pretty bad second half to that game. But I think with a big preseason, he has to be that guy going forward for us, especially because we hadn't brought any big midfielders in. Now, we're going to go ruck and then rover and the other rover. Obviously, we've got Cameron here. So Cameron will be taking the brunt of our ruck position. I've got Smith in the rucks here, but I know they're trialing him out as a defender before he got injured. So that's going to be interesting to see what that looks like. Steen is an out-and-out ruckman. So Steen is pretty much like Darcy Cameron. Can pinch hit up forward if we need him to. Are we going to go with the 5 on the bench? Do we go 2 genuine rucks and that way McStay or Buller don't have to second ruck? At the moment, I don't think so. I do want to see Steen debut at some point this season. So anyway, back to it. Cameron, Pendles, and then obviously we've got Nakos here. We'll go through the interchange a little bit. Long is going to be on the interchange. I may as well just put him now because Long will be in our best 23 and he will be on the interchange. I just don't want Long and Jordan De Goey and Pendles in the starting centre bounce at least. Let Jordan De Goey be that big bull to start off with and then have Long come through eventually. And now we'll go to our forward line, which is going to be interesting. No Mason Cox, no Brody Myercheck. So this is going to be interesting to see what they look like. Shooter, I think that's a bit of a no-brainer. Shooter off that half forward line. McCreary on the other half forward line there. Now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. I think, and this is not a controversial take or anything like that, but I think that Buller comes straight into our best 23. Obviously, depending on a big preseason, and he'll be our centre half forward, and McStay will be our stay-at-home full forward. Buller is going to be our second ruck, I feel as well, because I want McStay just to play Brody Myercheck's role, and that stay-at-home forward, come out if you sort of need to, but really just stay in that forward line, command that forward line, because McStay works best when he is just that full forward, full stop. And Buller, 200 or 199 centimetre, can just chop out and help Cameron out for 20, 30% of the time, like what McStay was doing as well. So that's why I've got Jack Buller there. And then Elliott in the pocket, and in the other pocket, we've got Hill. To me, that's a really, really, really dangerous forward line. It's not, like Sydney's forward line with Marty and Kerno now, and whoever else they've got up there, McDonald or anything like that. But I still think, especially, we don't really need a big key forward. We haven't relied on a really big key forward to kick goals. Look at Jamie Elliott won our goal kicking award with 60 goals as a small forward, pretty much. That plays taller. So I think the combination of those pressure forwards in Schultz, Hill, and McCreary, Elliott does it as well. Does it pretty well as well, but mainly those other three guys, and Elliott can be the foil to McStay. I think that's going to work, probably work the best. And then we'll look at the interchange in a second. But I think that's a pretty good starting 18. I think that's a pretty good starting 18. Now, interchange. We've already got Long. Remember that we can have 5 players on here. So we've got Long. Perryman is going to go onto the interchange bench. Crisp is going to go onto the interchange bench. I love the versatility of Perryman. He can come in as a midfielder or as a halfbacker, or a little bit deeper in there. And the sort of same with Crisp. So we've got some good defensive cover and some good midfield cover there. I think, see, this is where it gets a little bit hard now. Lipinski, just for his, oh God. Yeah, this is getting really hard. Lipinski for his run, definitely. I'm just going to pull these up a little bit. And then I've got Membry. That is what my starting bench is going to look like. Long, Perryman, Crisp, Membry, Lipinski. Now, the thing, damn, there's no small player there. But again, Lipinski can play half forward if we sort of need him to, so that's fine. Membry is in the forward line, so 2 forwards, 3 mids, and defenders, except for Ned Long. So we got Perryman and Crisp that can play in the midfield and the defense. Membry and Lipinski in the forward line. Lipinski as a mid if we need him to, and Long just as that's inside mid. Emergencies, I've got Steele, Parker, and Charlie West as our emergencies. I just think to start the season off, Buller is going to be a little bit ahead of Charlie West. And that is my best 23, no injuries for opening round. Let me know what you rate it. I think it's pretty good. The only one I sort of stuck my neck out on was Buller. Let's say Buller doesn't have, isn't ready for best 23 straight away. You could then chuck Elliott as your centre half forward. We know he'll come back. Membry over there. And then you can bring in someone like a Parker or someone like a Roan Steele as your sort of midfielder as well. So, but at the moment, this will be my best 23 going forward. Let me know what you think. Now, I'm going to quickly predict what our finals team will look like. So going into finals, we've qualified for finals. Those last couple of rounds, we know it tends to change up from the opening round, definitely. This is still going to be no injuries, no nothing. So we're not changing up because someone's got injured. Just what I think the natural progression of this side is going to look like by the end of 2026. I've got Howe coming out of the side. McGuinness going into the side. That pretty much stays the same. Pendles is going to find his way onto the bench. He's still going to play, but he's going to find his way onto the bench. I've got Sidebottom coming out of this side and his namesake Steele coming into this side on the wing. I think it might be Sidey and Howe's last year next year. So I've got them coming out of the side just because generally by the end of the year, I think kids are going to surpass them. I know you're probably saying, oh, Pendles, but I think Pendles still has a place in that team. But I don't think starting. Perryman will be that natural Pendles. Will take over from Pendles, especially, I'm hearing that Perryman They want him to be that guy that's directing traffic all the time and being that coach on field. They really find that in Perryman. Um, and he came on as midfielder. Remember, he came on as midfielder, but had to play a half-back line. So I got him there. So that's looking good. Here I've got Membry coming out of the side. West taking Membry's place. I do have Crisp coming out of the side as well. And taking his place, uh, I've got Harrison taking his place. And emergency, and you could again make an argument. Parker's stiff here. You could make an argument for Parker to come in, but for my emergencies, I've got Parker, Sidebottom, and Crisp, and that will be my best 23 for a qualifying final, or the first final, elimination final, whenever we're to play. That's what I think our best 23 is going to look like at the end of round 24. Let me know your thoughts down below. This was a really fun exercise. I'd probably want to do it a little bit more deep dives into sort of this in the season, but let me know your thoughts down below, how that you think that would work. Until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double shackers. I'll sweep you later.